This is Hot Mic.
Hot Mic.
On the networks of WDAY.
WDAY.
Here's Dom Izzo.
I think just like Dom's outfit, they're not always pretty. Sometimes they're really ugly. But
Just been all over Amazon and just about every site looking for these mustard pants. And
My wife will tell you she wants to
um,
burn mine. People actually listen to your show.
They watch.
They
I
watch
told
it.
you, yeah.
play defense in that first half like Dom transitions to you after the game. It's way too long, way too lazy, but
You got all these answers. I'm going to bring you over and have you do our non-conference schedule.
I'd love to. I'd love to go to Grand Canyon,
I would
man.
love.
Hey,
well, you
you're
can
doing
come
that
with.
game.
That's not the thing.
I love when you're on Dom. You're so transparent. And I'm like, so two things are happening. That one, people are watching your show,
Yes,
listening.
yes.
Right? That
Yep.
caught me a little off guard. I'm just being honest.
This show is we welcome you back. Our weekly visits begin with the men's basketball coach at North Dakota State. David Richman joins us on this Tuesday. I got to get used to that now because we've done Wednesdays forever. What do you got going? You got practice or something going Wednesdays? You can't do that anymore? What's the deal?
Well, let's first off, are we advertising the right things? Because you said that we start at 10 and it's now 10:05.
Oh, here we go. Where do you got to go? You got to know where to be. I know.
I got
Come
a
on.
lot of places.
Oh, do you now? Yeah.
I got
Yeah.
a lot
Do
of
you
places
now?
to be. I can't tell you all the great places I got to be.
Not here? Is that what you're trying to intimate? Is that what you're saying?
No. I mean, I want to help you with your show, your ratings.
No doubt. It's great to see it. We're looking forward to doing another year of this. It's going to be fantastic. I know people really enjoy when you come on, and here we go. You know, you've had a month and a half of practice. I'm sure you're ready. The guys are ready to actually play some games that count now, right?
Yeah, honestly, it's way more than a month and a half. You got the 7 weeks in the summer,
Yep.
you got 4 or 5 weeks in the fall, and then you got these weeks too. And it is crazy. I was just sitting with Todd Phelps too, and we had a staff meeting right before this, and you feel like you have all this time, and then you get down to the end, you're like, oh, like, do we get this in? Do we get that in? But no, it's time. It certainly is, and I think that's the beauty of how we do things. No matter where things are at, it's always about getting better. It's always about us. And yeah, I tell you what, like, I'm tremendously excited. I don't feel like we have a great gauge 100% of where we're at. Obviously, you play a Big Ten opponent at their place, then you play a Division II school at your place, and I think there is certain things that we can learn from both of those games. So there's some context we can get out of it. That being said, now the real stuff is going to start flying, and I know this. I'm excited to take this group wherever, whenever, compete against whoever, see what we're all about. I think we got a chance to do some special things.
All right, so this is the first year of the 2 exhibition games. Did you like this? Is this a good gauge of where you can take your team to the regular season after doing it now?
Yeah, I love it. I love it, and I have some better context today to it too. Now, obviously, I feel better after we won a game, no matter who it was against. But I also have a better understanding going into it now too. Next year when we do this, like, hopefully we can continue to do it. That I'm big into my faith, Dom. So and I am not going to hesitate to ever talk about those things where you look at pride. You look at ego from a Bible standpoint, it's not a healthy thing. Well, my pride, my ego coming out of a couple Thursdays ago at Williams Arena was shook. It was hit because we lost a game. That's not what we're about. But at the end of the day, we didn't lose the game. We lost an exhibition contest. And I need to have that perspective. Like, there has to be a greater picture out there. Not to pass the buck, but Purdue's the #1 team in the country. They go to Kentucky, they get beat, and they're down big. And it's there is, I think it's a credit to those coaches for putting, an early season product out there. Yeah, for the fans to see it a little bit, but for us coaches to test, our group and our guys to see what we're about.
What stood out, I guess, performance-wise or player-wise from the 2 games to say, okay, I wasn't sure about this in practice, but now we can count on this in the regular season games?
Yeah, it's still such a question that I've gotten quite a bit, and I don't know, it's just weird. I don't know if I have just a terrific answer for you, and I think it's just part of it is 2 different spectrums of the teams that we competed against a little bit. Part of it is I think I have some things in my head of what we're all about. And I think that what I have in my head is, we're a pretty good team. But I also know that everybody has approached this as an exhibition too. And so you're just trying to gauge that a little bit. How do I say this? I'll be direct because I always like Max Marley. Max Marley had some habits, let's just call it that, some habits and rhythms from some old places. He's been to multiple places, and I thought the game was really fast for him. I've been very pleased in both times the lights have come on and how he's competed and how he's executed. Has he been perfect? Not even close, but better than anticipated. So that is encouraging. I think the other big thing that I need to have perspective on is you take a Damari Wheeler Thomas, you take a Riley Massey, you take a Carson Smith, you take a Travion Carson. They've never played Division I basketball before, and so just them being out there and competing and going through some things, and not falling on their face or doing some things like that or crumbling, like those are big. Like we haven't shot free throws very well. That's disappointing. Now, is that the guys that are shooting it, or is that us as a whole? Just plenty of those things that are going to continue to work themselves out.
You had 56 points in the paint in the game against the Dragons. Is that something, a harbinger of things to come? Like this, we can hang our hat on that.
Boy, I'm going to just piss a lot of people in Bison Nation off and all this. Like, Dave Richman and he let the offense play last year and all the jacked up. Like, we're back to just pounding that thing in there, right? I loved it.
I know you did.
I did, and we will make more threes too than we did the other night.
Mm-hmm.
I think you saw that in the second half. We have some guys that, like I said, that are just getting comfortable under the lights and doing those things. But man, I love it. Just throwing that thing in, not necessarily throwing it in there, but driving it in there, however we get it, and then that creates free throw opportunities. And you look at the identity of this program, right? It is tough / together, and then not / just like that bold line, and that means everything to me. And I think for us to be those things, not just talk about those things, it's got to be that. I got a text from Danny Gingandre, who was with us last year, who did all of our stats. He's like, everything okay over there? What's going on? You're plus 12 in the net opportunities, and some of these things he's throwing at me, I don't have a clue what they are. But I was pleased, and again, let me. I've been on this stage and been crucial of Noah Federson. Let me jump on this opportunity and jump all over his performance. 19 and 10, and I think the biggest thing maybe too from that is the confidence that he's built. He was that way yesterday in practice, so now that needs to be. That needs to be a consistent thing. We can't have a Minnesota performance and a Moorhead performance, but hopefully the challenge has been accepted by Fetty, and that was really fun to see.
You mentioned like the advanced stats. Is that something you look at a whole lot? I mean, you're doing this a long time, and I know the game evolves, you evolve. Do you sink your head into the advanced stats a lot or not so much?
Oh, I would definitely say I do it more than I ever have. There's some situational things, there's some analytical things, there's some information, but we have a great staff, but they've also been clearly instructed by myself to give me clear, digestible bullet points. If you throw a bunch of stuff at me and a lot of random numbers with a decimal point followed by a million numbers, like I'm gone. And so Luke Strage has been very good for me that way, bringing him on staff and some of the analytical things. Danny was great last year. James Buchanan has been absolutely terrific for us, and he overcome the adversity of working for Tim Miles for 4 years. But he's been a great addition too. So yeah, I think there is a fine balance, but I do know too, you got to go out and play the games, and you got to block, tackle, you got to not get your penalties, and you got to do those things, and all that's got to correlate. But certainly, I think I'd be naive or shame on me if you're not at least paying attention to how some of those things work out.
I know you came in studio prior to the season started, and I was asking you about a couple of guys. Carson Smith, maybe a guy, and I maybe neglected to ask you about, but looks like that the year redshirting certainly benefited. Is this a guy that you've seen blossom that we got to play him? We got to find a way to get him on the floor.
Yeah, I'm absolutely thrilled with where that young man is at. And I thought, I thought he was, pretty good against Minnesota, and then just maybe a little bit hesitant, at home the other night. But he is a guy that, and Carson knows this, like his ceiling isn't he doesn't have this unbelievable ceiling, but from a coach's perspective, if you don't have a couple Carson Smiths on your team, you got no chance to be good. And he's just he's a lunch pail guy. He's a day in and day out. He's going to be in the right spots, and he's going to make the right plays and do the right things. Is he going to go up and dunk all over you or cross you over and double cross and go back? No, he's not going to do those things, but he's found a real niche and playing off the ball with some of the things he's doing. He's just a warrior. I think what you don't see too is this a young man that like there's almost like no bad days. no bad days.
Yeah.
And he brings that energy, and it's infectious. And man, I say this like I feel I would love to coach a million Carson Smiths, man. Like that kid is about the right things on and off the court.
One of my favorite guys is Andy Stefanowicz. He had another really good stat line. He had 7 assists, I think, in the game on Thursday. We talked about at the end of last season him starting in the Summit League tournament game against USD. Where have you seen his game take to a next level, and what are you expecting in 25-26 out of him?
Yeah, here's the stats nerd I am. We were doing the other radio show last night, and they said he had seven assists. I didn't even realize that. You know, I think it goes out there where there is, again, I think in terms of growth, comfort is a swear word, right? You don't want to be comfortable, but there is a very secure feeling for me. Like, let's make this about me, right? Which I do all the time, right? It's all about Dave Richman, but there's a very secure feeling when Andy Stefanowicz has the ball in his hands. And I think the best thing that we talk to our guys, if you can be anything in life, be grateful and always think about others. So be grateful for others. And what happens when Andy is on the court is he is making others around him better. And man, is it just a fun brand of basketball to watch. He's so unselfish. Like most guys, you would say that the number of dribbles he has per possession is too many. Like it's just different with Andy. Like you just feel it's a little bit of like an old Steve Nash where he's just dribbling, he's got it in, and then all of a sudden, boom, he drops it here and Noah's going up for a dunk.
Yeah.
Or Markai's cutting, and like I'll give some of those other guys credit, man. Like he's throwing stuff to them, and I'm like, oh, they're ready. They played with him long enough where you better be. He had one yesterday in practice where he swallowed up in the paint, and Max Marley's sitting over in the left corner, and he finds him, and I'm just like, dang, if you're out there with him, you better be ready.
That's a good thing to have. Last thing before we go to break, Markai Strickland told this story. I asked him this in the post game on Thursday about him coming here and playing. And he said, yeah, I never thought when I was here last year, I took a photo in front of the big bison inside the shack, and now I'm realizing I'm here. It's just kind of crazy. I know we talked about it when you added him to the team, but what kind of player is he, and person that you've added to your team this year?
Well, he's a wonderful person. He's got a selfless personality to him, which is fun. It's been engaging. He's got a great sense of humor, which his teammates really appreciate. On the court, and I said this to him during the game, Thursday. I said, "Has anybody ever told you how good you are?" Mm-hmm. And he looked at me. He's like, "No." I said, "Well, you and I are going to have some fun this year." And I think that's the good and bad right now with Kai, is I have a vision of him being a dominant force, for us and for within the league. And I don't think he understands that quite yet. And I think that's the last bit for Kai. He is an absolute freak athlete. He can do some things with the ball from a handle wise that is just terrific for his size. How big, strong, physical, athletically he is. He doesn't shoot it great, but he's certainly capable. I've been pleased he's made free throws, but that mentality shift of like, I'm talented, to a mentality shift of I'm talented, I'm going to try to dominate you, is that next step for him. And he can be about those things. And the interesting backdrop, his dad, Mark, played in the league, and he talked about some of his best development when he was in some random communities and there wasn't a whole bunch of other things to do. Now, I'm going to defend Fargo. I love Fargo. I think there's plenty to do. But, this summer, Markai was in the gym 5:30, 6 a.m. in the morning all the time. And those are the things that he needs to embrace, because he's told me he wants to be great. And do you want to be great and go out and party and do all these things? Or do you want to be great and then you're going to work at it? And, that's the shift that we're working with Markai right now.
All right, let's break. We come back much more with Dave. We'll get ready for the season opener at Oregon State as the Bison are going to head west to open up 2025. We'll do that on the other side of the break. Back on Hot Mic right after this. Welcome back, everybody. Dave Richman joining us in his debut edition for the 25-26 season. North Dakota State plays its first game coming up on Monday night. Corvallis, Oregon. Have you been? Is this your first time I know you played Oregon. Have you played Oregon State before?
I've not played Oregon State. No, we played Oregon. I believe we played both of the Portland schools, Portland State. I don't know if we played Portland State. No, I've been to the state. We have not played the Beavers. We're actually going to take Todd Phelps with us.
Oh, nice.
Todd before he came to NDSU, he came from Oregon State. Now, he obviously hasn't been there for 10 years, and I'm sure a lot's changed.
All right, you know my favorite thing is asking you about scheduling, so I'll ask you, is this the team that actually returned your phone call, Oregon State? How did the game get scheduled here?
Yeah, exactly. I got, a lot of respect for Wayne Tinkle. I mean, he did tremendous things at Montana, and a couple years ago had a great run with the Beavers at Oregon State. And so, yeah, I mean, again, scheduling, there is like just so many things that go into it, right? There is dollar amounts that needed, the dates need to be hit, and then you tie them in, like we're going to circle trip this one from a budget standpoint, circle trips, right? Where we leave, play, travel home, and just some things like that. So no, we're excited for the opportunity. Very appreciative of it because, like again, like I don't say this hesitantly, like there's just people that haven't been interested in playing the bison lately. So
I'm looking.
this
I
is why
know.
this is why we're going to bring Dom Izzo on staff, and
Here we go.
his brilliant mind, and all the things he can do our scheduling.
I would start with a couple humdingers there. I know, but I don't know if
Hey, is it true that your
oh boy,
your buyout reflects like what a buyout of like Penn State football coach, LSU football coach?
I think my buyout would reflect of how quickly could they get me out the door. It's probably what their buyout is. Like, oh, you know what? You're all set.
I just figured if you have enough money to go out and buy pants like that, like you would have some security, a backing to know that.
I'm
like,
wearing
good
gray
at-
slacks today. I think they look pretty good. I'm just gonna tell you.
That's the problem. You think they look good. What does everybody else think?
Well, we'll put it up for a poll question there. We'll find out. I'm looking at we're discussing this off air. I'm looking at they have 10 international guys, but you don't really know anything about them, right? I mean, they play exhibition games, but this is where we're at in college basketball in 2025, 26. You have no idea until you get out there and play them, right?
Correct. Yeah, like I didn't even know, like you said, that there was 10 international guys. I know James told me they got 6 guys that are over 6'11". That to me, like, listen, you got a choice, right? You can whine and be all freaked out about it, or you can embrace it as a challenge, and that's how we have to look at it. We're not going to know much. There's some personnel things. We'll be able to find clips and things like that by different stuff that's online, and I'm sure Tinkle's got a base of what he's done consistently throughout the years, and we'll have a good pulse of that. But those first 8 minutes are going to be interesting, right? And there's going to be a feeling out process of what both teams are about. And to me, we have to look at that as a challenge. We got to be grateful for that challenge. We're grateful for that opportunity. And but ultimately, like we need to go out and play Bison basketball.
Yeah.
We need to perform Bison basketball. And like I've said a countless times to our guys, we need to block, tackle, and not get penalties. And at the end of the day, those fundamentals, those habits, those rhythms of basketball are going to be more important than anything like schematically.
The schedule for the first 5 games, Bison will play at Oregon State, as I mentioned, on Monday. Then a game at UC Davis follows a week from tomorrow. Then you're actually home in November. I don't know how you made that happen with Cal State Northridge and St. Scholastica, and then a biggie with Southern Illinois. That's fun. With Scott Nagy, who coaches SIU, which is a payback game. I know you guys went down there the last couple of years. And I think we may have talked about this, so I apologize if this is repeat stuff, but I'll reiterate. I know I talked about Steeman on the broadcast. Anytime a Missouri Valley team is coming to Fargo, put the flag up. That's a big deal, Dave, that you got a Valley
Thanks,
team
Dom.
coming up here.
It's a really big deal. And, I get it to a certain extent, like when your football team just dominates an Illinois State or they dominate a Southern Illinois and you kind of correlate the two. But you look at the historic prestige of the Missouri Valley Basketball Conference. It's different than the Missouri Valley Football Conference. It's just the bottom line. And in particular, the opportunity for us to go against a Southern Illinois team that's going to be very well coached by Scott. And Southern Illinois has got a lot of history.
Yep.
I mean, a lot of history. They're making Sweet 16, runs of a few years ago, and in a program that's trying to get back to that too. So no, we're jacked up to have them here, and obviously plenty of opportunities before that. But like this is what we need to get.
Yes.
Like here comes Coach Richman out, right? Like and you'll choose to listen to this however you want, people. But like we need people to come out and get engaged and be behind it. Got a meeting tomorrow morning again. I'm such a huge guy about the student section.
Yeah.
I just want to love up and embrace our students because I think they can really ignite the party and engage it. And I'm not hiding behind it, Dom. Like, we got a great product. We got fun guys. We got guys that do the right things on and off the court that I think can play basketball, a fun brand of basketball. And yeah, it's a crossover season. Yeah, you got a bunch of little things going on, but man, come out and be entertained. We're looking forward to it.
We've seen them make an impact too, Dave. Whether it be your team or Jory's team, when they've been out there, I'm talking about the students. It's been loud, man. They can be a difference there.
Absolutely. And again, we just have firsthand experience by traveling around and seeing these places and getting a feel for, the kennel at Gonzaga and, GCU and all those things. And like, why, like, don't tell me like, oh, they're this or they're that. Like, we need to have big dreams, big visions for this. And we need to attack those things.
Last thing, one email comes in. Can you ask Dave if any personnel decisions have been made in terms of guys playing or redshirting? Are you there yet or not yet?
That's so BS. That's not an email.
I got it as well.
No,
I asked you off air.
It's from you, and we've already discussed this off air.
I got it off air. I also got one here too.
Here, I'll just answer it like this. Yes, personnel decisions have been made. Am I going to tell you anymore? No.
I'm sure you're not, yeah.
No, because...
Well, do guys even redshirt anymore in basketball? Do guys even redshirt in basketball anymore, though? With the portal now, I mean, guys are gone anyway, right?
Well, and again, this is, like, I need to be careful, but I don't need to... Like, I'm still ticked about, like, football, they get...
Yes, I'm with you there 100%.
Still redshirt,
yes,
and then
correct.
We're going to have the 5-year thing, and then we're not. Like, why do we hamstring basketball? So
I would. That's a great point. I'm glad because I think Steven and I talked about like 10 games. Would 10 be enough for you to decide a guy can play or not?
Give me 8.
Okay.
Give me 4.
Okay.
Something like and just even. Don't give me it. Give the kids it. That's what it's about. Give them a taste. Give them an experience for somebody that we're going to redshirt. To give them just a little bit of it. We're supposed to make this about the student athletes, and I don't get it. Like, why do we make things so hard? I'm literally looking at the Dome, and they can do it right there.
Yep.
Right.
Correct.
They're an NDSU athletic program.
Yes.
To my understanding.
Correct. Last I checked.
By the NCAA.
Last I checked. Yes.
And we can't, like, I don't know. I'll probably get.
See, we came together and agreed at the end here. I like that. So we can end the segment here. We're in agreement on something.
12 years I've been doing this now, and like this is the second or third time we've agreed on something. I think.
That's probably about right. So
yeah, that's probably about right.
Hey, have a great week. Safe travels, and we'll talk next week. Okay.
Hey, man, enjoy Halloween with the family, and
Thank you.
Everybody be safe. But that's a great thing, man. You got those kids at that fun age, man. Enjoy that.
Good to see you, bud. Thanks for the time.
Hey, brother.
There he goes. Dave Richman joined us each and every Tuesday. He'll be on with us at 10 o'clock. North Dakota State opener at Oregon State next Monday. We'll have the highlights on the show a week from today. We'll break. We come back. Our guy Steve Lockway will join us, recap the Heartstopper at Aberdeen on Saturday night. The Dragons fall to Northern State. We'll break down that when we come back right after this.